Alright guys, so I think there is not going to be any mid update coming anytime soon, so we are going to be updating the end of October 2022 arena tier list. This is going to be for PvP, right? And this tier list is going to include Brute as well as BTS Cookie, who has come out with the BTS collaboration, and the arena has been going on for more than 2 weeks now. So it's a good time for us to really place him inside of the meta, as well as some of the switches that has happened since then. So just keep in mind once again that this is going to be based on my opinion as well as my experience. I am playing around inside of the Grandmaster 3.2 area inside a pure vanilla server, and I do want to let you guys know that some of the cookies that you guys see inside of the arena may differ depending on what rank you guys are. The lower the ranks, you guys may see some more of the A tiers, A plus tiers, and things like that still being used. However, as you guys get higher, it's going to be more towards that S to the SS rank and the meta cookies being used majority of the time. It doesn't really matter which server you guys are playing on nowadays. It's just going to be a matter of toppings that is going to make the biggest difference between the servers. So even if you guys are in Dark Account server and you guys are watching my videos, it should still be around the same for the top 100. But let's get into it, guys. Let's start with the meta cookies, and that is going to include BTS, Brute, Cream Unicorn, Black Pearl, Captain Caviar, Purple Yam, Clouded Cream, Eclair, Espresso Vampire, as well as Financier. So there are some switches that has happened ever since the release of BTS as well as Brute. Some of the cookies has switched, but the main tanks in this meta right now is going to be Brute, Purple Yam with the Magic Candy, of course, as well as Financier. Financier is going to be in about, I would say, 98% of all the meta teams. And then Purple Yam and Brute are going to be interchangeable depending on what you guys are using and what the purpose of the team is going to be. And for the healers, it's very simple right now. It's going to be BTS as well as Cream Unicorn. BTS are being used a bit more than Cream Unicorn, but still Cream Unicorn is a very, very, very strong healer, guys. They do different things, so it is going to be interchangeable depending on the team once again. And then the DPSs are going to be changed here and there. However, the main two that I will watch out for is going to be Black Pearl as well as Clouded Cream. And then, you're going to see a lot of Captain Caviar being used alongside them, like Vampire, Espresso, and Eclair. Alright, so let me just quickly talk about why BTS is a great cookie and the reason why I placed them inside of the meta. And the reason why is because of the fact that BTS has that safeguarded ability, allowing them to not take any damage. And on top of that, they are able to constantly heal. And with the skill, they are able to heal over time, give debuff resist, which is going to be very important with how many debuffs are going on right now. And on top of that, if any of your cookies have 3 or more debuffs, they are going to be able to give an HP shield as well as damage resist to all of your cookies. And on top of all of that, there is that stun immunity, which is going to be very important because Brute is going to be one of those cookies that constantly stuns your team. Alright, so BTS cookie, definitely one of the best healers going on right now. Can't believe a special cookie is going to be in the meta, but that's just how the game is taking it right now. So if you guys have BTS, which you guys should have, alright, everyone does get 1 copy at least. I do recommend you guys to level them up. They don't require any skill powders, so the best thing that you guys can do probably is going to be leveling them up to level 30 and then placing them inside of the hall so that you guys are able to switch them around in case you guys do get any of these 7 members and one of them has more promotions than the others. Alright, because of the fact that they do have all the same skill as well as stats, the only thing that's going to be different is their appearance, alright, as well as the promotions that you might be able to get on them. So if you guys do want to take advantage of those extra attack stats from the promotion, that's going to be the best way to go with. And then the next one is going to be Brute. Brute is amazing right now as well. Not only is he very offensive, but he is very tanky as well. So he does have this attack speed boost as well as a damage resist boost, which is going to allow him to be a really, really tanky. And on top of that, he's able to stun the enemies with his skill, which is going to be a very, very fast cooldown. And on top of all of that, he's actually able to give 15% attack boost to all of your teammates and have a 50% chance of stunning the enemies with the normal attack, which is also going to deal AoE damage. So definitely a very offensive cookie right now that you're able to use as a tank. and I definitely recommend you guys do try and build him if you guys can, especially for the newer players, because of the fact that Brute is going to be part of that feature banner. It will definitely be a lot easier to promote if you guys have the crystals to do so. And on top of that, the only two cookies that I say that has kind of been used a lot more than the other is going to be Clotted Cream as well as Vampire. I mean, Vampire has been used ever since the release of Magic Candy, but has made an appearance more often than normal or this current meta. And the reason why is because of the fact that there's a lot of squishy DPSs being used, like Black Pearl as well as Captain Caviar. And Vampire is just able to quickly go and bite them and either remove the feather from the team or just completely eliminate them, like you guys see in a couple of my videos. So Vampire has been very frequently used, as well as Clotted Cream is also very good with the combination of Financier, who is automatically going to target Clotted Cream and able to shield Clotted Cream to give that extra damage resist boost, attack boost, shield, as well as healing. And Clotted Cream is able to isolate one of the tanks from the enemy team. So definitely one of the better cookies being used right now, and a very strong combination, especially with Financier, who is going to be in majority of the team. So pretty much that's going to be the entire meta. I will have to say these cookies right over here are going to make up like literally 95 to 98% of all the meta teams that you guys see. It's just going to be depending on which of these DPSs you're going to put into the team, as well as which tanks you're going to go with, as well as which healers. So sometimes you do use double healer, sometimes you do single, sometimes you use double tank, sometimes you use one tank. So that's pretty much what the arena is made up of right now. So if you guys have any of these cookies, definitely going to be very strong. And then moving on to the SS tier is going to be Caramel Arrow, Sea Fairy, Cotton, Crunchy Chip, Sorbet, Rye, Dark Cacao, Squid Ink with the Magic Candy, as well as Wildberry. So you guys are able to see right now that Caramel Arrow as well as Wildberry has kind of moved down from the meta towards the SS. They're very strong still. However, I'll have to say, because the meta is really what they're like most frequently used, Caramel Arrow and Wildberry are not going to be part of that as of right now. All right, they have been pushed down a little bit, especially Wildberry with the release of Brute and the more frequent use of Purple Yam with Magic Candy. And then also Caramel Arrow with the ability that BTS is able to shield your cookies, and just having Clotted Cream and someone like Espresso being used more frequently. All right, however, they're still very strong. Sorbet is also a very strong combo against double tanks. Crunchy, Cotton are still very strong with the Summoner comp, as well as Cotton just in general, a very all around very good support. And on top of that, Rye, Squid Ink, Dark Cacao, as well as Sea Fairy are going to be pretty decent tank DPSs that are available to the comps. So pretty much that's going to make up the SS tier. And then moving on to the S tier are going to be someone like Kumio, Affogato, Herb, Parfait, as well as our Pumpkin Pie and Oyster. So kind of like the Summoner comp pieces are going to be part of this, as well as Parfait and the Herb are going to be the support and healers that you can use inside of the arena in place of someone like Cream Unicorn BTS if you don't have them. However, they're just going to be a lot better than Herb and Parfait. They're literally like the better version, I have to say, than what you guys have. I mean, the only thing that Herb really has right now is going to be the Purify. However, with the debuff resist that BTS is able to have, as well as the the HP shield and things like that, it just really doesn't make sense for you guys to use something else other than BTS, who is completely free, right? And then Affogato as well as Kumio, they're still very strong. They can be used, but they're going to be used a little less often nowadays. I'll have to say even maybe push down to A+ tier. I just wanted to keep them up there just because of the fact that they're still being able to use compared to the other cookies right now. So that's really what it is. And Kumio probably sooner or later is going to move down to A+ or even A tier because scam comp is almost non-existent right now. And then moving on to the A+ tier is going to be our Frost Queen, our Pomegranate, Pure Vanilla, Cream Puff, Red Velvet, as well as the Candy Diver. All right, so the reason why I have the Frost Queen as well as Pure Vanilla and Cream Puff here is because of the fact that they're still able to be used. However, they're just not going to be as strong as the ones that you see in SS as well as the meta tier. All right, Pure Vanilla is still very strong healer. However, it does lack a very just buffs in general. Like there's only shield as well as a massive healing that can work, but it does lack healing compared to Cream Unicorn. And on top of that, Pure Vanilla does have that very long 19-second cooldown, which is going to be the deal breaker majority of the time. So I have to say Pure Vanilla is going to be lower than Herb in this case for the arena healing. And then the reason why Candy Diver is an A+ tier is because of the gambling factor or the RNG factor that is coming into play when you guys do use them. You do need to have a very high cooldown with some amplified buff. Very unique. However, the execution was not that great. All right. And that's the reason why it's going to be at A+ tier. And then Pomegranate, Cream Puff, Red Velvet, a very okay substitute for some cookies as well as Red Velvet. Just a decent, tank as well as this stunner, but going to be used less often now with the release of Brute. And then the A tier are going to be Hollaberry, Milk Cookie with the Magic Candy, Cocoa, Tea Night, Mint Choco, Cherry Blossom, Almond, Sparkling, Moon Rabbit, as well as Strawberry Crepe. A tier and B tier are really going to be interchangeable. However, just keep in mind that these cookies are going to be used way less often that you guys see in S tier as well as SS tier. So A+ tier, they're decent tanks, DPSs, supports, and healers and things like that, but they are going to be harder to use inside of the meta right now or inside of your team, because they do need to have specific teams. Like for Almond, you need to have someone like Rye or a very big AoE damage team. Moon Rabbit, you need to be able to kill the enemies. Tina, you need to be the last one standing. Coco is an okay counter to someone like Brute. However, that has been completely flipped around with the usage of BTS, as well as a team that is going to utilize BTS to use their skill first. And a Milk Cookie with the Magic Candy, kind of okay, but not that great. Hollaberry, just a very decent tank, I'll say, for an ancient. All right, and then moving on to the B tier, Dark Choco, Black Raisin, Lilac, Licorice, Madeline, Lancey, Poison Mushroom, Raspberry, Tiger Lily, Mollasauce, Twizzly, Mango, as well as Snow Sugar. So these cookies are decent, but not that great to use right now. Unless they get a Magic Candy, maybe they will be able to come back. But as of right now, they are going to be very, very lackluster. And then moving on to next, it's going to be C tier, Pastry, as well as Chili Pepper. Very, very normal, just very like basic cookies. Pastry, I'm sorry, but Pastry just doesn't have anything other than that Ricochet, which is very lacking. And it's just an extra auto attack pretty much. So I'm just going to put Pastry at C tier. And then last tier is going to be the don't use tier. And that is going to be Fig, Werewolf, Sonic, as well as Tails. They're just not great. Don't waste your resources. Just keep them away from your team if possible. All right, unless you're a new player and you don't have any other cookies to use. But there you guys go. That's going to be the PvP tier list for the end of October, for 2022. Of course, once a new cookie comes out from a mid-update, which I have honestly no idea when that's going to be, I will be updating the tier list once again for you guys. And hopefully I can kind of upgrade the specs a little bit so that you guys have more flashy videos and things like that if possible. And then I will also follow this tier list up with the PvE tier list for the story mode. Anyways, guys, I hope you guys found the video helpful. Let me know down in the comments below what you guys think, which you guys would switch around, because like I said, this is not the answer. This is based on my opinion as well as my experience. So you guys can let me know exactly what you guys feel can be changed. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching once again, and I'll see you guys all on the next one.